Hi, this is Chandra from How Chandra Does Food, and we are making some dinners. This is a steak night. I'm also making some mashed potatoes to go with it, and these potatoes are inspired by my brother-in-law, who told me after I said how amazing his mashed potatoes were, that he adds garlic and rosemary right into the water and mashes that all together with the potatoes when they're all done cooking, and it just has the best flavor, like infused into the potatoes, but also those ingredients are in there. So anyway, I've been making it at home myself like that. I had the horseradish out there because at first I thought I was going to add horseradish, but then I remembered that I wanted to do this, so that got put away. And now I'm adding some rosemary that I dried from my garden and checking these potatoes. Since I don't do it with lactose, I am adding ghee, which is pure fat, so no milk sugars in that. And instead of milk, I just use water to get it to the right consistency. I could use nut milk. I didn't have any, and I don't really think it matters too much. Then some salt and pepper. To go with these steak and potatoes, I am making a quick coleslaw. I was going to use cilantro, so I also used coriander seed, just kind of to complement the fresh greens, since the coriander is the seed of the cilantro plant. I chopped up those stems really finely, and I'll mix those in with the mayonnaise, the coriander seed, some salt and pepper. Then I'll slice cabbage into that and roughly chop up some cilantro as well. I also added into the mayonnaise mixture some apple cider vinegar and maple syrup. Next up, we are making chili, and I quickly got shoved out of my role as the main chopper of this meal, so I'm just doing some prep work. But I am cutting up carrots, or my assistant and I are cutting up carrots and peppers. I'm also cooking some beans over here. I did 3 rounds of beans. I was home all day, so it was easy to just keep them going. I wanted to cook them all separately because they had different cooking times. I didn't want some to be under or over. I use kidney beans, black beans, and Great Northern beans usually in my chili. So to my pot I have added onions, peppers, salt, carrots, and I had a sweet potato that needed to be used, so I put that in there too. I sauteed all that a little bit, and then I moved it to the edges of the pan and put in my ground beef with a teaspoon, it was 1 pound of ground beef with 1 teaspoon of salt. And I will brown that ground beef right in the middle of the vegetables before stirring it all together, adding the spices and cooking it for a minute before I add all of my liquids, which would be tomatoes, all the beans, and then whatever liquid I have on hand, which either like a tomato juice or broth. That I let cook for about 45 minutes or so. I'm serving this chili with some fake cornbread muffins. So there's no corn, but they are made from millet. And this is the video I put up last week, and I can link it below so you can see how I made those. Our next dinner is a stir fry, which is my favorite easy dinner to have. Often I can prep all these ingredients way ahead of time during the day, so dinner comes together very quickly. So tonight we're having pork. So I sliced up a lean cut of pork. It was a tenderloin. I'm putting that into a very hot pan, salting it and getting that sauteed up so it's nice and browned. Well, I missed recording it, but I added some julienned carrots, so little carrot sticks, and I cut up a broccoli stem to be about the same size. And that all went in with the sauce, and I use a recipe for that sauce. I'll put it below, but it's honey, arrowroot starch, garlic, soy sauce, water, and that just all gets cooked together and it thickens right up. We serve this over rice. This night we are having a dinner that we have often and have had often over the years, and that is beef tacos, like classic beef tacos. So I have a pound of beef in the pan and I'm browning that. I will add onions and garlic, also some chili powder, ground cumin, and ground coriander. That will all cook together with some tomato sauce, and it's just that classic beef taco that is so good. I had some of this in the freezer that wasn't quite enough for all of us, but I added this in to make this recipe a little bit bigger. And I'm doing all this at nap time, so middle of the day, and then that will just wait to be reheated when we're ready to eat, which here we are. I am getting some lettuce cut up for the tacos, but also I'm not making cassava tortillas tonight, and these are corn tortillas, which I don't really do well with corn. So I'm having a taco salad. Everybody else is having tacos. So we have some avocado, we'll have some cheddar cheese, some salsa, some hot sauce, some sour cream, some pickled jalapenos from our garden, and what's nice about that is there's some shishitos in there as well, so it's not a very spicy mix. So even Leo, my 8-year-old, can eat that. And there's our dinner for tonight. We are having another ground beef dinner this night, and this will be a salad, a Big Mac salad, which has been really good. I just started making that recently, and you know, it's kind of like a Thousand Island dressing. Brown up some ground beef, put on lettuce, and it's pretty fun to eat. I don't eat Big Macs anymore because I would feel pretty terrible if I did, but it's fun to have this with all those kind of flavors. I'm also adding croutons to this and in lieu of the bun. So to this ground beef in my pan, I added salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and I will put a little Worcestershire in there and get that really deeply browned. Into the lettuce goes some chopped up onion, some chopped up dill pickles. I also took the liberty of providing some avocado for toppings, and there is also cheddar cheese for those who want it. And there's our dressing and some sesame seeds. We are going back to pork and having a pork roast on this night. So I'm getting that seared up, and it's going to go into the oven for most of the day. I will take it out after a few hours and add some vegetables underneath, and then let it keep cooking until it is very tender. Now, I didn't want to waste all that flavor from searing the meat, so some of the onions that will go under that roast, I am just using to deglaze the pan, and I'll save them for later. Here are some kale chips happening because this is the way that my kids eat vegetables. We make them a lot. I can link that video below if you want to see how we make kale chips. So I got the liquid from underneath the roast, removed most of the fat, and got the the liquid back in without that, along with bay leaves, carrots, celery, and onions. And there's the onions I had used earlier to deglaze the pan. And this will all get covered and put back in the oven. This is some of that fat that I removed from the roasting pan. It's been in the refrigerator, so it's solidified, but I'm going to use that along with the juices from the roast cooking and a little supplemental chicken stock to make a gravy. So equal parts fat and cassava flour is what I used, but any kind of flour. You cook that a little bit over the heat and then add all of your juices and broths. And then that can simmer away to thicken up a little bit. These potatoes I'm going to just saute in the pan in a little bit more of that fat from the roast. Some more fat going down into the pan and a little bit of garlic, which I will quickly saute, and then add this broccoli that I have been soaking in water to wash it, and it needed to be hydrated a little bit. It was kind of wilty. And that water helps just quickly steam these as they saute. Add some salt, and that's another dinner.